Bottling boycott.
Dump it out. Dump it out today.
Calls heat up to pull Crown Royal from LCBO shelves. Labor dispute lingers.
We've told them that they have some demands that are simply unacceptable.
Support staff at Ontario colleges days away from a legal strike position. And battle lost.
Everybody here is grieving and has suffered a huge loss.
Windsor Symphony's maestro silenced by cancer.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us, and hello to those listening to us on AM 800. Calls are growing to boycott Crown Royal whiskey after Diageo announced it's closing its Amherst first bottling plant in 2026. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now with community reaction and whether a boycott could really make a difference. Chris.
Yes, Stefanie, calls to boycott Crown Royal are picking up steam both in the community and in political circles. Local groups, experts and politicians are weighing in on whether refusing to buy the whiskey could pressure Diageo to save jobs in Amherstburg.
We'd like to support them.
The AMA Sportsman Association says it stands with the families affected by Diageo's decision. The club pledges to serve Crown Royal and 83 whiskey until February, but if the plant shuts down, both will disappear from their shelves.
We're saying to our members that work there, we're still going to support you by selling your product because you're still bottling it, but as soon as the day comes, hopefully it never comes, that they close that plant, we won't be serving them products at our Sportsman's Club after that.
After Premier Doug Ford dramatically poured a bottle of Crown out yesterday, Essex MPP Anthony Liardi is calling on the region to dump Diageo altogether.
Go to your cupboards. If you see a Diageo product in your cupboard, dump it out. Dump it out today. Don't worry about what you paid for it because you have to support your people. You have to support your friends and neighbors.
Windsor West MPP Lisa Gretzky is going further, urging the province to pull the brand from LCBO stores.
In a situation like this, to not just sit back and take it. At some point, you have to show your solidarity. You have to show that fight, and you have to push back.
More than 200 unionized employees work at the Amherstburg plant. Gretzky says they deserve the chance to keep their jobs after decades of local production. But experts warn a government-led boycott could backfire.
So you don't want to provoke or send negative messages or unfavorable messages to the company that remains committed to Canada. They could actually decide to close everything down and move to the U.S. They have the economic power. They have almost 400 million consumers to serve.
Sylvain Charlebois says consumer-driven boycotts have historically been more effective than government ones. For now, Premier Ford says he's considering a province-wide removal, but doesn't expect a decision soon.
Maybe it'll help.
Reaction on the street is mixed. Some say they'll back a boycott. Others say it may hurt workers more than the company.
I don't know how effective that is. Maybe it will help. I don't know.
I think it's a bad idea because they have other plants.
I don't know if I don't think so. A boycott? No. But what can you do?
Diageo says it will keep Canadian operations in Manitoba and Quebec, but that's little comfort for the hundreds of families here facing job losses, especially knowing the company stated the decision to shutter the local facility is final. Stefanie?
Okay, we will keep our viewers updated on this. Chris Campbell with our top story tonight. Thank you for this, Chris. In other news, a bizarre and violent altercation in Chatham has led to the arrest of a 28-year-old woman accused of attacking her roommate with a garden hose. Chatham Kent police responding to reports of an assault at an apartment building on McNaughton Avenue just before 3 a.m. on Tuesday. Investigators say the suspect, who was under the influence of a controlled substance, got into a fight with her male roommate. It escalated quickly, with the woman allegedly punching the man and then striking him with a garden hose. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported. The Chatham woman was arrested and is now facing several charges, including assault with a weapon, mischief, and resisting arrest. A dramatic daytime break-in at a Chatham business ended with the arrest of a 29-year-old man thanks to police coordination, a drone, and the OPP K-9 support. Police say someone broke into a commercial property on Queens Line around 10:20 a.m. on August 30th. Police deployed a drone confirming a man was inside. With no response to call-outs, OPP K-9 and ERT were called in. The man was arrested and charged with break and enter. A Windsor doctor has been fined for stealing data of newborn babies. Dr. Omar Afandi is a pediatrician who used to have privileges at Windsor Regional Hospital and Chatham-Kent Health Alliance. He has been fined $5,000 personally, while his private clinic will have to pay the government $7,500. Afandi has 30 days to pay. Dr. Afandi told Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario that he accessed electronic health records of newborn males between April 20th and May 7th of 2024. He then called their parents to tell them he can do circumcisions in his clinic for $350. The procedure is not covered by OHIP. Dr. Afandi has acknowledged this to be a breach of the hospital's privacy bylaws. The commissioner also found no wrongdoing by Windsor Regional Hospital, noting the hospital responded appropriately as soon as officials learned of the data breach. Dr. Afandi's clinic, meantime, did not have the proper protections in place to protect patient confidentiality, according to the commissioner. Windsor's art community now is remembering a beloved leader. Robert Franz, Windsor Symphony's music director for more than a decade, has passed following a 4-year battle with cancer. CTV's Sanjay Maru is joining us now with this devastating loss.
Yeah, devastating loss indeed. Robert Franz was more than just a conductor. He was a source of joy and inspiration for this community. Now, tributes have been pouring in all over social media, and today his colleagues are remembering him for his infectious spirit and endless creativity. The Windsor Symphony Orchestra has lost its guiding force. Robert Franz, known for his infectious smile and love of all things music, died Tuesday night after his second battle with non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
Everybody here is grieving and has suffered a huge loss.
Since 2013, Franz has served as music director for the Windsor Symphony Orchestra, shaping the sound, vision, and future of the ensemble. His influence stretched far beyond Windsor, working with students, singers, and musicians across North America. Those who work with him say they were left in awe by Franz's ability to keep the show going.
Robert is an influencer. How we survived COVID, but how we came out of COVID. How he reshaped concert series.
Steering the orchestra through the pandemic, Franz created digital performances, even reading children's stories online, determined to keep music alive in people's homes.
He's given us an example of what we could follow and a vision for this orchestra. It's one of the most incredible regional orchestras. And we're in the shadow of Detroit with the DSO, yet we're also healthy and we're doing great things here.
His dedication to his craft was apparent not just to those who worked with him, but to those in the audience.
He loved what he did, he loved the community, and he had that little glint in his eye. But he also said, I take the music seriously, I don't take myself too seriously. And I thought that's a wonderful way to approach life, and that was Robert.
In 2021, Franz was first diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. The following year, he was declared to be in remission, but this past February, the cancer returned. It did not stop him, however, from continuing to power through treatment while still creating programs and sharing music with the community.
One of Robert's signature concerts that he put on are his superhero concerts, and he would don a costume and he would come on stage and he would be this big, huge character, but he was really a maestro superhero, and he didn't have to put a costume on because he really honestly was just the superhero for all of us here at the Windsor Symphony.
Robert Franz was 57 years old. Now, the date for this has yet to be determined, but officials with the Windsor Symphony Orchestra say they are working on a celebration of life for Robert Franz inside the Capitol Theatre. And in many ways, this would be an event organized by Franz himself. The board chair says as recently as this past week, he expressed ideas on what he wanted this celebration of life to look like, from the music that plays to who exactly will be speaking. His colleagues say they will honor every detail of his wishes, just as he honored this community with his music. Stefanie.
A beautiful man, and he will be dearly missed.
Dearly, dearly.
Okay, Sanjay Mara tonight. Thank you for this, Sanjay. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining me now for our first look at this wet weather. Gary.
Wet weather in through this evening as I speak. Earlier today, gusty wind, of course, as we look at the tall grasses that I captured. Gusts in that 50 to 60 range, sustained winds, 30 to 40 at times. And through the afternoon, evening, we saw the buildup as this cold front swept across Michigan from west to east, increasing cloudiness. Now rains Detroit into Windsor, Essex, headed towards Chatham-Kent this hour and over the next couple of hours. Still windy and perhaps unsettled through to tomorrow morning. I'll break down what you need to know, where temperatures are headed. Could we see a huge cool down behind this cold front? That's coming up. For now, I'll send it back to the desk.
With St. Clair College back to school, more reports of bus delays this morning for commuters and students in the Dominion Avenue corridor. According to Transit Windsor, the delays were outside of their control primarily due to traffic congestion. Some students say a 20-minute commute last year has expanded to nearly an hour and involves 2 buses. Officials say the feedback on the new routes are generally positive. Officials are encouraging riders to share their thoughts and concerns. The schedule is set now for the next 3 months, but concerns may be addressed in the next quarter.
It's always an evolving transit system, but right now there's been a lot of good feedback. It's being well utilized, and we'll continue to look at monitor and maintain the level of service that's being directed.
A labor dispute is brewing at all of Ontario's 24 colleges between the employer council and support staff.
They're the first faces you see when you walk into any academic or student services office, and they're the last face you see as well.
They have some demands that are simply unacceptable. They couch them in what they call job security, but it includes a demand that there be no campus mergers, campus closures. They have a demand that there be absolutely no reduction or layoffs of their staff.
If no deal can be reached, support staff at Ontario colleges will be in a legal strike position next Thursday, that's September 11th. Support workers include the registrar's office, library, accessibility, and maintenance staff. Students are worried, feel caught in the middle, and they worry they will be forced to pivot to online.
The teachers would have to push all your courses into like a big package, and dropping all that on you at once could be overwhelming for some.
I think we probably can't run without all of those things. I think it's all very important. And
yeah, I feel like you need support staff to run the school.
Meantime, bus drivers with a First Student Canada could be headed for a lockout. That's according to the union. 180 local bus drivers are represented by Unifor Local 195. President Emile Nabout told AM 800 News their members could be locked out as of next Friday, September 12th. The company, meantime, says there is no viable way forward in contract talks. Both sides agree wages remain the sticking point in the talks. Parents whose children are bused by First students are urged to check buskids.ca for all updates. In a bid to free up jobs for Canadians, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling on the Liberal government to scrap the temporary foreign workers program.
July's employment data has confirmed that what Mr. Carney's economy is doing to our youth. 14.6% unemployment, 1.6 million Canadians unemployed. According to CIBC, that the levels of employment are are normally what you would see in a, quote, a recessionary period. Yet the Liberals are still bringing in the workers from abroad to take jobs from people here at home, and they are driving down wages. Nearly 3/4 of the temporary foreign workers in Canada do jobs that pay below average wages, which means that they are ultimately taking jobs from the people in Canada that need them most.
Poilievre also wants the government to stop issuing visas for temporary foreign workers. He says the moves would, quote, protect our youth and workers. The Conservative leader accuses the Liberals of breaking the immigration system by allowing too many people too fast and too easily to enter the country. Prime Minister Mark Carney says Cabinet is discussing how the program is working, but it will continue to play a part in Canada's immigration system. Now, migrants' rights advocates say what Poilievre is proposing wouldn't come close to solving this country's employment challenges. Poilievre's plan includes a carve-out for agricultural labor, something Ontario's Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association says they are pleased with, as the process they have had in place for years is working well.
This program gets reviewed every year by the countries, and it gets, polished up, and operational things are cleaned up, and some of the worker protections are cleaned up. That's happened for over 50 years.
So our question of the day, do you think Canada should scrap the temporary foreign workers program? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked if Crown Royal whiskey should be pulled from the LCBO after Diageo announced the closure of the Amherstburg plant. Out of almost 800 votes, 72% of respondents say yes. Discussions continued in council chambers today on what a good neighbor policy could look like. A report presented to the Community Services Standing Committee looks at how other jurisdictions set out expectations between municipalities, residents, businesses, and social service providers. On the table, who is responsible for mitigating dangers such as discarded needles and letting residents know who to call when someone is passed out on their lawn. One option, before funding of any kind is released to a service provider, a contract Windsor and the social service provider would include a good neighbor policy to hold organizations accountable for what has happened on their property, a suggestion downtown councillor Ronaldo Agostino strongly supports. He also puts a motion forward to incorporate a good neighboring policy into the upcoming housing and homelessness master plan, which is to be presented in the spring.
We have to start talking about goalposts. We have to start having expectations of, okay, there's funding being directed towards this. What do we expect in return, right? What do we expect in return for the funding? Here's what we expect.
Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, how Ottawa hopes to tackle tariffs and the Trump factor. Later, the CRA is under pressure, given a deadline of 100 days to fix growing call center complaints. And tomorrow, a major boost for local farmers. ADM cuts the ribbon on a game-changing grain terminal in Windsor. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. The start of a two-day retreat today for the Prime Minister and his cabinet. They are focusing on major project approvals, trade war strategy and housing as they count down to the opening day of Parliament. CTV's Judy Trin on the tough choices to be made.
Ahead of his cabinet planning forum, the Prime Minister disclosed a top-level conversation.
I last spoke to the President Monday evening. We spoke at length on a wide range of issues, including on trade, but geopolitical other issues.
Over the next 2 days, members of cabinet will get more details about what Mark Carney learned in his unscheduled conversation with Donald Trump. The U.S. needs to start public consultations on the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement in the next few weeks.
The focus of the government from the start has been on what we can control.
The cabinet agenda includes deciding which major national projects, from ports to pipelines, to put on the fast track. Ministers will also discuss the rollout of Carney's Build Canada Homes initiative and how to build affordable homes on federal land. The finance minister has yet to map out the costs.
It's going to be an ambitious budget, but at the same time with a fiscal discipline, you know.
This budget is about fairness for every generation.
The Liberal government has not passed a budget since April 2024. A budget is expected to be tabled in October. There will likely be public sector cuts in order to pay for investments.
The federal government has been growing spending as a whole at over 7% a year on average for over a decade. That's twice the rate of growth of the economy on average. It's not a sustainable situation. So we need to rein in spending. We need to find efficiencies.
Carney's cabinet also heard from polling experts who told them that the trade war was no longer a top priority for Canadians. Instead, fighting inflation, building homes, and job creation ranked ahead of Trump and his tariffs. Judy Trin, CTV News, Toronto.
Federal Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu has announced a new funding for the government's youth employment strategy.
Today is about making sure that the next generation can actually succeed in this rapidly changing landscape. And so today the Government of Canada is announcing that we're investing $26.1 million in 6 new projects under ESDC's Youth Employment and Skills Strategy.
Hajdu says economic uncertainty fueled by the U.S. trade war and rapid changes in tech have added significant challenges for youth. The new projects will bring together service providers, employers, and youth to match skills to employers in hopes of helping more than 23,000 young people. Meantime, the federal NDP are now looking for their next leader. The party says there's been strong interest in the job since August 20th, when application packages were made available. Registered party members will vote for their next leader at a national convention in March. When Canadians owe taxes, they are put on notice. Well, now the CRA is the one on the receiving end. The minister in charge is giving them 100 days to get their act together. CTV's Sean Varden reports.
If you're looking for help or answers from the Canadian Revenue Agency, get ready for a wait. And some are warning others about how much time they've wasted on the phone, noting the system is dropping calls before anyone answers.
I'm a frustrated taxpayer right now.
Janet Marinica is a former federal executive who says her back-to-back calls were dropped at 59 minutes and 59 seconds. 2 hours gone without getting a hold of anyone at the CRA call center.
I have not been able to get anybody, and I'm not interested in waiting another 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and then be cut off.
But she's just one fed-up taxpayer in a sea of many. The problem so well known, the Minister of Finance is giving the CRA 100 days to do something about it. In a letter to the chair of the Standing Committee on Finance, Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne says it's increasingly apparent that the CRA is not meeting the reliable and timely service that Canadians expect and deserve. The agency has been asked to take concrete steps to help Canadians get the assistance they need, Champagne wrote. This will include reallocating and adding personnel, piloting a new call scheduling system, and expanding digital services, among other measures. And even though the minister isn't committing to giving the agency more money to make things better, the union executives representing tax workers say they're happy the government is getting involved.
Seems that the minister has listened to our concerns and the concerns of our members in the contact centers. Some cases, in some instances, it takes 52 weeks to get some answers or to get a file being processed.
According to the Treasury Board Secretariat, in 2024, the CRA had over 59,000 employees. In March of this year, that had dropped to just over 52,000. The union suggests the shrinking workforce is part of the problem, and Janet thinks the public should take part in finding a solution.
First question is, are there focus groups for taxpayers? I understand that, they'll be working with the employees and working with management, and union management will be involved, but where are the taxpayers in this?
Sean Varden, CTV News.
A bright step forward for the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Testing is now underway on the structure's streetlights. Crews began testing 164 streetlights that line the length of the bridge on both Friday and Saturday. A spokesperson says testing for the aesthetics lighting hasn't yet been scheduled. Strength in technology and basic materials helped Canada's main stock index finish higher. In Toronto, the TSX gained 136 points. In New York, the Dow lost 25, the Nasdaq added 218. The Canadian dollar took a minor loss of 0.02 of a cent. And on commodity markets, gold gained more than $43 an ounce and oil dropped to $1.62 a barrel. You won't believe what a St. Clair College quarterback pulled off. 6 touchdowns in one game. That story still ahead.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Joni LaRiviere for sending in this beautiful image. Blue sky. This image, will we see images of blue sky tomorrow or more clouds with rain on the way? We'll find out next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Another beautiful morning to get the kids back to the school bus. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
The morning was beautiful. The afternoon really was beautiful as well. Now into this early stage of the evening, we see the clouds rolling in from the west, and with that some showers through supper time for most, 6, 7 p.m., 8, and maybe even some rumbles of thunder a little bit later tonight. Reached a high close to 3-4 degrees above seasonal today. We were in the lower 28 degrees Celsius range, about 28.1, 28.2. Our average is closer to 25. It was a cool start, though, 10 degrees earlier this morning, pre-dawn. The air quality is still in the low range. So the lower the number on the AQI index, the better the air quality. We're seeing 2s and 3s across extreme southwestern Ontario, 3 at the airport in Windsor, so that's good news. The temperatures have been warm, as mentioned, especially in Windsor, Essex, Tecumseh, a little bit cooler in Chatham, Canton, Erio, Rondo Park. You're looking at 25 degrees Celsius there. Increasing cloudiness throughout the region, holding at 28 in Windsor. That's 82 Fahrenheit. 2577, by the way. Much colder across the central tier of North America, primarily from Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and extreme northern Quebec, and then pushing south over the U.S. northern central plains and parts of the Great Lakes region, upper Midwest. It's 7 degrees in Thunder Bay, 24 in Toronto, and as mentioned, 25 in Chatham, Kent, 28. Here in Windsor, the winds are picking up. It has been a blustery day. We're still looking at gusts that have surged in that 50 to 60 range, and we still could be in that range through tonight. By the way, that cold front and the sweep of showers has brought steady rains across Michigan and now moving into southern Ontario proper. So the rains are coming and will continue through the overnight. I think tomorrow afternoon will be better than the morning. The morning we'll see some rain showers. So here's what's in store. An additional maybe 10 to 15. Some areas 25 millimeters of rainfall through to tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we're down to 17 at midnight with a chance of some scattered showers and still blustery. Take a look at our 7-day forecast, courtesy of Sal's Heating and Cooling. A cooler 20 degrees Celsius. That's that cool air from northwestern Ontario moving in. Sunny on Friday, Saturday, 23 and 20, and then 21 to 24 degrees the next 4 days. Sunday through Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday. Things are likely to improve.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Health Canada has approved a new drug to treat a certain type of ovarian cancer, platinum-resistant. CTV's Pauline Chan has the details.
Liz Reichert was diagnosed with ovarian cancer after a medical episode while on vacation in Paris in 2019.
No other symptoms, except as I was sitting on that bus,
I felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm getting a giant period.
It was stage 3B, with stage 4 being the most advanced form.
It meant that the cancer had already spread from my pelvic area into my peritoneum, which is the kind of sac that holds all your organs in your belly.
Ovarian cancer is typically quite advanced when it's finally detected. Reichert had surgery followed by platinum-based chemotherapy and has been doing very well for the past 6 years. But for most ovarian cancer patients, there comes a time when those platinum-based chemos no longer work. That's why the approval of a new drug called Elahere is so significant.
Mirvetuximab is the generic name. So it's approved for women with what we call platinum-resistant ovarian cancer.
Dr. Alan Covens says Elahere acts on the folate receptors on the cell membranes.
The majority of ovarian cancer cells, like 75%, will express folate receptor positivity on the cell membranes. So the majority of patients would be eligible to benefit from this drug. Not everybody, but the majority.
Reichert is living a good life now, but always aware of the chance of her cancer returning, and knowing new medications are becoming available keeps her full of hope. Elahere is expected to become available in Canada next year. In the meantime, patients should talk to their doctor about treatment options. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Windsor Schulich School of Medicine has some new rules to start this new year. Medical schools in Canada will no longer follow a joint accreditation system with the United States. The Canadian Medical Association says it's relieved that the country's medical schools will now solely be assessed according to Canadian standards. The driving force was the U.S. government's move to ban DEI requirements in the accreditation process as American medical schools. The joint accreditation between Canada and the U.S. did allow Canadian graduates to pursue their residency in the United States. As we all know, tapping to pay is easy, but is it safe if your phone goes missing? The answer coming up on Windsor's News Leader. Whether you're buying lunch or movie tickets, more people are now tapping their phones to pay instead of using cards or cash. It's convenient, but what happens if your phone goes missing or falls into the wrong hands? Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
It's something more of us are doing on a daily basis, paying for items using a smartphone. Digital wallets are fast and convenient.
I can just take it anywhere, whether it's on my phone or on my watch. I know that I always have something to pay with.
But not everyone is convinced it's the best option.
I feel more secure, or just go the old-fashioned ways, use cash.
While opinions differ, there's no question digital wallets are catching on. Once set up, payments are a breeze.
Wherever you go, whatever kind of payment system they require, all you need to do is pull out your phone. No need for cash, no need for plastic.
A Consumer Reports survey found 4 in 10 consumers use their digital wallet at least once a week, but that convenience may come with risks, because if someone gets into your digital wallet, they could access your money in seconds.
There are security features that are built into both your phone as well as the wallet app on it, but they're not always turned on by default.
You want to make sure your digital wallet is locked. Set it so you need a face scan, fingerprint, or passcode to make a payment. You may need to turn these features on. If your phone goes missing, make sure it can be found remotely so you can erase all your data before someone else gets to it. On an iPhone, go to Settings, tap your name, then Find My, and make sure Find My iPhone is on. If you have an Android phone, it's called Find My Device. Just sign in with your Google account and it's enabled automatically.
If you haven't activated it, you need to, and you should practice it. Do a test run to make sure that if the worst happens, you're ready.
And watch out for scams. They're on the rise.
Scams involving digital wallet payment apps have become a serious problem. Some consumers have lost thousands of dollars. So it's important to stay vigilant to avoid becoming a victim.
To lower your risk, turn on transaction alerts for every purchase. That way you can catch anything unusual right away and protect your money. Pat Foran, CTV News.
We are kicking off a brand new weekly segment tonight on the sidelines with, of course, Bob Belichico. Now, every Wednesday, Bob dives into his passion for local sports, bringing you stories, insights, and the people behind all the plays. And what better way to start than with Windsor's hometown heroes, the Windsor Spitfires. Bob, I'm thrilled you're here. The viewers are thrilled that you're back with us.
This is so awesome. So awesome to be here on the desk with you talking sports. This is great. So thanks for having me back. The Spits, let's talk Spitfires, are in their second week of training camp. With the preseason on the horizon, the Spits have cut their roster down to 29 players. Now, the team is practicing for the preseason opener at Flint Friday night. The Spits will have 9 players, count them, 9 players heading to NHL camps later this month, giving the young players a chance to showcase what they can do. Now, expect another 4 or 5 players to get cut before the season opener in Sarnia, September 19th.
No, they look really good. I'm really impressed by what I've seen so far, and I'm excited to see what they're able to do in the upcoming years.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We got such a great group of guys, and so excited to get back here and work with them and have another great year.
It should be a great year. Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing the continued development of Ethan Belchez, the first overall pick in 2024. The second-year forward helped Canada win bronze at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup last month. Coming off a serious ankle injury late last season, his showing in Europe is a good sign of things to come.
You always want to keep moving up and getting better every year, and I think I did a lot of good things over the summer that can help me out in the year here. So hopefully I can use those and have a much better year than last year.
So, Bob, a huge weekend for football right here in the city, both Windsor, St. Clair in action.
Oh, my goodness. I love the smell of football at this time of year, especially when the weather is a little bit cooler. You can just smell football in the air. And let's start off at the University of Windsor. The Lancers didn't get off to a great start in their season opener against Laurier, but I did talk to Coach J.P. Cercelli earlier this week. He said his team moved the ball well enough against the Golden Hawks, but overall, their timing was just a little bit off. As he put it, fans could see Laurier had a week under their belt while Windsor was playing their first game of the season. Now, the Lancers have shaken off the cobwebs and are ready to go. They are hosting the Guelph Griffins Saturday night at Alumni Field at 7 o'clock. Both teams looking for their first win of the season.
Anytime you can really get going in front of your home crowd, Saturday night with the lights going, the whole campus will be here because we've started school off the right way. There's a type of energy, especially in this city, that is equal nowhere else. So we're really looking forward to that.
Now, Bob, this next one is a stunner. A St. Clair College quarterback throwing an incredible 6 touchdown passes. What happened?
Okay, so if a quarterback throws for 2 to 3 touchdowns, you're having a good game.
Oh, for sure.
But 6? Yeah, that actually really happened. Matt Gannett and the Saints offense was on fire last weekend against London. But make no mistake, there's a reason they have a high-octane offense.
It's pretty unreal to have that feeling.
Matthew Gannett threw for 6 touchdowns last weekend against the London Beefeaters and is the league's Offensive Player of the Week.
I'm not able to do what I do if my O-line doesn't block, if my receiver doesn't make that catch, if my coach doesn't call these plays. It's great that I have the trust in my players and my coaches that we're able to do what we're doing right now.
The Holy Names grad backed up Maurice Soja en route to the national title last year. With Soja moving on, Gannett knew this season was his time to shine and trained hard with his teammates during the offseason.
Being able to be here with everybody is always a lot better for team chemistry and everything.
That chemistry is on full display. St. Clair is 4-0 and have racked up 242 points while allowing only 28. Gannett threw for 6 against London and 5 against Ottawa the week before. That's 11 in the last 2 games.
It's kind of crazy looking on the outside, but we all knew what we had coming in.
The Saints host Hamilton Saturday night at Acumen Stadium, looking to continue the momentum during the second half of the season.
Mike said it from the start, we don't rebuild, we reload no matter what we do. And this wide receiver core we knew was going to do the most damage in the country, and you guys are just getting a sneak peek of it. Wait till the season goes on.
NFL football obviously kicks off this Thursday.
Can you smell it? More football.
I'm excited. So many people are excited. Let's talk the Lions.
Well, let's talk the Lions. So the Lions are at Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers Sunday at 4:25. As you'll remember, the team went 15-2 a year ago, which was great. There was a lot of promise heading into the playoffs, but then they dropped the dud against Washington, the Commanders. It's so sad. I was in the room after the game. pins dropping. You can hear it was bad. So the odds, believe it or not, are against Detroit winning in Green Bay, which makes our Michelle Molesky very happy, I'm sure. I don't think they'll win 15 games this season. I'm just being real. But at the same time, I would say they're at least going to win 12. What do you think?
I don't know. I think 15 is reasonable. I know Mike K. Cook from AM 800 might think otherwise, but he's a huge fan, obviously.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait and see, but it should be a good season regardless.
Oh, you got to give me a number. We can't walk away from this.
Okay.
Yeah,
you say 12.
I'm going 12
Just to make it close enough, I'm going to say 13. So
13.
I get anything 13 up, you get anything under 12.
13 and 4, we're going. Okay, here it is. There's our predictions for the year.
Okay, Bob, again, thank you. Can't wait till next week. Now, do you have thoughts or comments on any of these stories, either in sports or on CTV News Windsor in general?
Well, hey, all you got to do is drop us a line or send us a text to 10400. You can also send photos or videos and see, to see what's going on news-wise in our city.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting season for football.
X marks the spot where it all began. 89X is back. Windsor's alternative. 89X.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Kick off spooky season with AM 800 and Scarehouse Windsor at the first ever AM 800 Fright Night. Friday, September the 12th. Bring a non-perishable donation for free admission. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, I understand you have a little known fact about Robert Franz, Windsor Symphony's well-beloved maestro.
That's right, Stephanie. Earlier in our newscast, we told you how he was remembered for his passion and energy, not only for music, but for education and the community as a whole. The chair of the board for the Windsor Symphony Orchestra says one thing many people may not know is that when Franz was first diagnosed, he actually went to the board and asked for permission to volunteer at the Windsor Cancer Center.
He was there many mornings with this huge smile on his face, greeting everybody that came into the cancer center. And so his exuberance and his passion and his energy, it expanded way beyond this theater walls, the school walls, the community.
We've got more tributes online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we've also got a story on our website, Melanie, about a driver who's taken off the road in LaSalle.
Yes, LaSalle police pulled over a young driver on Ojibwe Parkway at 1 p.m. yesterday. Police say the 22-year-old was going over 100 kilometers per hour in a 50 zone. He was charged with stunt driving. His vehicle was impounded for 14 days, and his license was suspended for 30 days. You can find more police stories on our website. And in our social spotlight tonight, viewer video shows cars stopping along the Gardner Expressway in Toronto Monday afternoon for a dog on the run. Several people chased the white dog as it was running back and forth across the lanes. By the time the police got there, the dog's owners had successfully retrieved it, but no word on how the pooch ended up on the highway, Stephanie.
That is a very good question. I also feel for the drivers. Obviously, there's always backups on that highway. And then plus there's so much distracted driving, and now you have a dog on the road. Thankfully, he's safe, though.
Yes. Good news is the dog is safe and sound.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and that's what's happening now. When we return, a record-breaking wingsuit jump at 347 kilometers an hour. You have to see this heart-stopping flight.
The latest news to start your day.
Interviews, conversations with the top officials, the difference makers, and personalities in Windsor, Essex.
Only on Windsor, Essex #1 morning show.
It's Mornings with Mike and Meg on AM 800.
Beautiful blue skies with clouds from earlier today, but we are seeing a little bit of action moving into tonight.
Yes. That is correct. It's windy. We're seeing rain showers across the region as we speak. There will be more rain and the potential of some thunder shower activity pre-dawn tomorrow morning, and then things get a little better. By the way, windy today, windy tomorrow morning, sunshine Friday, Saturday before some light showers Sunday. Note temperatures will range anywhere from about 20 to 24 degrees Celsius over the next 7 days, so there isn't a huge fluctuation, but the lows will be gradually getting lower. I mentioned Thunder Bay was 7 degrees earlier in the afternoon. Some of that colder air moving in through the overnight. We won't get that low, but it's that time of the year, right? So something to think about.
Okay, thank you. Now, Michelle Molesky, you are continuing to fill in for Ricardo for the rest of this week, and we are heading to Kingsville tonight.
Yes, absolutely, and keeping our Robert Lothian very busy this evening. He is heading out to Kingsville, where the Royal Canadian Legion is hosting a special event to talk about the impact of PTSD on soldiers and veterans. Plus, a Windsor restaurant is going for a world record. We'll explain and show you the big attempt this evening. That's all tonight, and obviously your latest in the weather tonight at 11.
That story sounds delicious, so I'll be waiting to watch.
Doesn't it?
Okay, we leave our viewers tonight talking about a thrilling another world record set in the mountains of Switzerland. Take a look at this. Hashtag crazy. On a daring flight, Australian athlete Peter Salzman broke the world speed record for a base jump in a wingsuit. He leapt from over 3,700 meters above sea level and reached a top speed of 347 kilometers per hour. A tracker was actually built into his suit to measure data. An especially designed helmet was made to cut through the air and reach this record-breaking speed. Definitely have to have a lot of confidence if you're willing to jump at that height, at that speed. Gary, could you do that?
No, I would never do that. But it's an amazing sport, but it is incredibly dangerous. The footage is wild, though, right? I feel like he's like a falcon, but he's a human being at the same time. So he's bird cross.
That's one of those ones that's more fun to watch than to do.
Yes, definitely. So also, if you are looking for some exciting things to do, maybe on Friday night, we want to invite you to stop by our first ever AM 800 Fright Night.
We're hosting 2 free haunted houses this Friday, September the 12th, at Scarehouse Windsor.
Bring a canned food or a cash donation and keep your eyes peeled. You might just recognize some familiar faces from right here at CTV Windsor.
On behalf of our dedicated team, thank you for watching.
I'll be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
Good night.